So in our group, there's 3 in the MTC that were going to Sierra Leone, me, another American, and a Ghanaian. And the Ghanaian was assigned our group leader, so he had the money for our trip. He had our tickets and everything. And we were dropped off at the airport. We flew to Sierra Leone. When we arrived, so the airstrip is just a little strip. There's trees kind of hanging over it. Looks very much like a jungle, kind of a wetlands jungle. So Freetown's actually a peninsula, and there's a big bay. It's the largest natural bay in the world. And then Lungi is where the airport is. So you land on Lungi, and then you have to take a ferry, a boat, or a helicopter, or a hovercraft to Freetown. So we arrived in Lungi, and they checked all of our bags, went through customs again, at just a little airport. And as we were going through the airport, there was all these people, the helicopter, the water taxi, the hovercraft, they're all trying to get us to buy their service, saying, hey, ride with me, ride with me. And we had received direction from the MTC that we should take the hovercraft, and if the hovercraft is down, then we should take the helicopter. So the hovercraft apparently had caught on fire the week before while it was there, and so the hovercraft was down, so we decided to take the helicopter. And everyone was telling us to follow them. We didn't know who to trust, and I just trusted my Ghanaian companion. He was our group leader. He just said, I'm trusting this guy, and we're going to follow him. And as we start to leave the airport, there's a whole host, probably 30 people, like yelling, looks like some kind of riot or fight. And they're like banging on the bars and trying to get into the airport to come for us. And I was terrified. And they closed the gates to the airport. Everyone's kind of reaching their arms through. I was like, what is going on? Is there a fight? And I've come to find out later they were just people who wanted to carry our bags for us so they could get a tip. But they're like fighting each other to be the one that could carry our bag. So finally the airport just opens the gate and say, okay, it's time to go. So we just walked through this group, and we had to receive direction not to let anyone touch our bags because they're going to expect a big tip. We didn't have money for that. So I'm just pulling my luggage, and people are trying to grab it out of my hands, and I'm just pulling it. I'm like, nope, nope. Just following my companion, and I had 2 bags. They're kind of heavy. Started falling behind, and this nice man just put his hands on my bags and pushed me through the crowd. And then I got into the next area, and it's kind of a waiting area for the helicopter. And he said, you need to go sign up. You have to leave your bags here. They're checked on the helicopter. And I was set. Like, I was told not to leave my bags with anybody. I was like, no, I'm taking my bags. And but then everyone's like, oh, you need to go over here. It was just a very high pressure situation. And then he pulled out his tag, and he showed that he worked for the airport. And he said, my name's Michael. I'll take care of your bags. And I just trusted him. And I thought, I mean, he's like an angel. He helped me get through that crowd. He was so nice. So we got our tickets to the helicopter, ended up waiting like 30 minutes for the helicopter to come. Our luggage was loaded. There was a guy who was right in front of us. He was an American visiting, I think a tourist or something. But he said, a helicopter last month crashed and everybody died on it. So I'm riding with you guys because God's with you. Right after he told us that he was atheist. But we got on the helicopter. The flight was awesome. We were up above Freetown. You could see the whole city. So it's like I said, it's a peninsula. And then the city is built on the mountains that feed right down into the water. And it was just a beautiful sight. So we landed in Freetown. Our mission president was there waiting with his car at the helicopter landing pad. And he drove us up to the mission home for our introductory dinner. Nowadays, I don't think they do the helicopter anymore. I think they just take the ferry. So it's a longer trip. It's a lot safer, though, and a lot cheaper. So that's getting to Sierra Leone.